server can send traffic to 255.225.1.1.1. This means that this traffic should be received with these two systems. Don't forget, you can't assign unicast IP address to two systems in one network. For example, assume that I'm going to assign 192 or for example 1111 to the first system and also quad 1 to the second system. If you are configuring two same IP address in with the class A, B or C range in two systems, you will receive error message or duplicate message. We can't assign the one unicast IP address to two system or three system or more than this. Okay, only unicast IP address should be assigned to one system. But when you are using the class D IP address, because the class D is using for multicast communication, you can assign multiple same address, same class D address on multiple system. Look at here. Here we are sending the traffic to the 225.1.1.1, and this traffic can be received with two systems, but not this system, because this system doesn't have the 225.1.1.1 IP address. Okay. Also here, one interesting thing, as you can see, the source IP is unicast. The source IP is the range of class A. Don't forget, this is one special rule. Okay, we have three types of communication in the IPv4: unicast, multicast, and broadcast. I will talk about the broadcast now, but let me to say that for all of this communication, every time the source IP is unicast. Okay, the destination IP can be unicast, okay, unicast, and for example, or multicast or broadcast. It is so important that the source IP every time is unicast, and in source IP we can't use the, for example, multicast, broadcast, or for other types except unicast. Only in source IP we can use unicast. In destination IP we are using unicast, multicast, or broadcast. Because of that, here as you can see, in source IP we have unicast. In destination IP, we are using the multicast. This is the one-to-many communication that is the multicast. And you know that in this course, I'm not going to talk about the detail of multicast. Also, as you can see here, in the multicast addresses in the range of 224 to 239, we don't have the network and host. This is not available. This is not applicable. It's okay. The reason that is that in the multicast routing and in multicast addressing, we don't have any concept about the network and host. Maybe you ask me how. Let me to talk about the detail of this feature in the future courses, because this is beyond the scope of the CCNA. Okay, but for now I can say that in multicast communication we don't have the concept of the network and host. Because of that, when you have one IP address starting with 224 or 239, you don't need and you shouldn't think about the network and host. Let me to talk about the detail of or the reason of this feature in the future courses. Because of that, now we know that why in class D we don't have network and host, because this is for multicast, and in multicast communication we don't have the network and host part. That's it. Okay, let me to review. Until now we learned about the IP address classes. Okay, and also we learned about the IP address types. We know that the we have three types of IP address. First, unicast, class A, B, and C. This type of IP address are using for one-to-one communication, one system sending traffic to another system, and this is the most famous type of communication and most usable communication in the networks. After that, we have another type of communication, one-to-many. Okay, multicast. Multicast means one system sending traffic to multiple systems, for example 2, 3 or more. Okay, in multicast we are using the class D, and one IP address of class D, okay, can be assigned to multiple systems, and you know that this is not possible about the unicast IP addresses. And when the system sending traffic from unicast IP address to multicast IP address, all of the systems that have this multicast IP address can receive the traffic. This is the multicast, and we are using multicast in many communication, for example, in voice and video communication. When we have a camera, we need to send the camera picture to, for example, more than one system, we are using multicast. Multicast is one of the, for example, interesting topics and advanced topics, and you will learn about the multicast in more advanced course such as the CCNA or CCNP. Okay. Also, we have another type of communication. We call it broadcast. What is the broadcast? Broadcast means one system sending traffic to all systems. Look at here. This is the broadcast. One system sending traffic to all systems. Here we have three systems. When one system sending traffic to all of the other systems, this is the broadcast communication. One to all. Okay. Maybe you ask me, when we are sending traffic to, for example, or with multicast destination to all of the systems, this assume that this is the multicast address assigned to all of these three PCs. This is the broadcast. No, this is the multicast, because you are using the multicast address. For broadcast, we are using a special type of addresses. We have two type of broadcast. First, we should know about the two type of broadcast. After that, we can better understand the function of the broadcast. But until now, let me to say that when you are sending traffic from one system to another one system, this is unicast. When you are sending traffic from one system to multiple systems with multicast address, this is the multicast, or class D address, this is the multicast. And when you are sending traffic from one system to all other systems, this is the broadcast. One to one, one to many, one to all. Okay, but broadcast has two types. Broadcast has two types, local and directed. Let me to talk about first local and directed broadcast. After that, we can better understand the function of the broadcast. Let me to talk about the type of broadcast in this picture. Look at here. Here we have a scenario. I'm not going to delve into the detail of a configuration now. You will learn about the configuration, about the networks in the future videos. But let me to talk about only the broadcast. I'm going to show you what is the difference between the broadcast types. First, I can say that we have two type of broadcast. Let me to write here broadcast in networks. Okay, and after that, the first type of broadcast is the local broadcast, and the second type of broadcast is the directed broadcast. Okay, I'm going to talk about these two type of broadcast. You know that broadcast means one to all communication, when one system sending traffic to all system. But here we have a little notation, a little difference between these two type of broadcasts. Here we have a simple network. In these networks, as you can see, we have two networks connected to each other. This is the first network. Let me to show you from here to the router. You know that we are using the routers to connecting different networks to each other. This is the first network. Okay, until we reach the router. And also here we have another network, for example, network A and network B. This is the network A. Okay, and this is the network B. You know that we are using the switch for intra-network communication, for communication inside of the networks, and also we are using the routers for inter-network communication. Okay, let me to show you what is the difference the broadcast in local and directed form. Here we can assign IP address to these systems. For example, the IP address of this computer 1 is 192.168.110. You know that this is the class C IP address, and also the IP address of this computer 2 is 192.168.111 with the same three first octets, 192.168.112, 192.168.1, for example, 13. That's it. Or for PC4, let me use the 14, for PC3, 13, for PC2, 12, and for PC1, 11. Okay, and also you know that we can assign, and we need to assign one IP address to